The theme of this chapter of the 7 deadly sins truly is an interesting one. Ro, he realizes what he did was a heinous act. What he did was fucked up. When you saw his thoughts in this chapter, he wasn't trying to make excuses. He wasn't saying, oh, it's because they did this is why I'm doing this, and you should forgive me, I'm innocent. He didn't try to do that. Ro, he accepted his actions. He realized what he was doing was wrong in the first place, but he continued going down that path because he wanted his revenge. But he knew all along his quest for revenge, he knew what he was doing was wrong. It was a very heinous act. And I like how Nakaba-sensei doesn't try to excuse Ro for what he did in this chapter and what he was doing. Just because he saved Jihare in the chapter, and he was actually really trying to save her, doesn't excuse him for everything else he already did in the previous chapters. It doesn't excuse that at all. It doesn't. And I like how Nakaba-sensei doesn't just give him a pat on the back and say, oh, you're fine, you know, continue on living, all that. That doesn't happen. Ro still needs to answer for his crimes. And so, King, standing up and wanting to kill Ro, it's justified, in a way. In a very twisted, dark way, it's still justified, because the same reasoning that applied to how this all began in the first place can be applied to what King is doing now. Kind of let me explain. So, the reason why Ro and all, you know, the humans turned against Stigma in the first place was because in the past, there was this village. This demon that was apparently like a civilian, it's like one demon, was kind of, you know, sickly or whatever. They took him in, made sure everything is fine with him. We don't really necessarily know if the demon stayed there or already left by the time, you know, Stigma attacked. But regardless, though, thanks to them taking in one demon that was actually relatively a nice guy, the angels and all of them just wiped out the village. They just completely massacred the village and killed them. And when Ro and his, you know, friends came back and all that, they realized the town was gone thanks to that reason, and which started their quest for revenge, why they got stronger, and why they planned all this in the first place to do their attack these past couple chapters. And so thanks to the actions of the angels is what has caused this, and we can assume that also causing that is led to what King is doing now. The reason why King is attacking Ro. So, all of this is like a continuous cycle. It's something that constantly starts, even if the character knows what they're doing is wrong, they do it anyways because they want to get their revenge. And we can also say before, you know, the angels and Stigma attacked the, you know, the human settlement, which took in the demon, we can assume the demon started something in the past as well, before whatever the angels did. So it's, once again, a continuous cycle. And so nobody is justified in this entirety of this flashback arc. No side is good, no side is evil. Both sides have done some really fucked up shit. Some really messed up shit to where you cannot, you know, say, oh, you're a good guy, you're a bad guy. Both sides have their evil assholes, and both sides have their good guys. That's kind of what this flashback arc is trying to represent. There's corrupt individuals on both sides, and that's how all war is. When it comes to war, both sides are, you know, in the wrong, or both sides are in the right. They are both equal when it comes to that sense. They both are doing things for their own means, and they all have their own reasons. There's good guys on one side, and there's always evil guys on one side. There usually is an equal amount. And because of this, that's kind of what this chapter is trying to show. Ro, him standing up, you know, taking out Stigma, he did a heinous act, but he knows he needs to also accept the fact if someone comes for him to try to end his life as well. He realizes this. So I do appreciate the aspect of this chapter and what it tried to show. Make it morally gray. It was trying to, moral on the lines, go into a gray situation with this chapter. So Nakaba-sensei, I do appreciate that. Now, with all that being said, though, I do say this flashback arc has really just surpassed all expectations. I figured this flashback arc wouldn't be as good as it already is, and I'm loving the world building. I'm loving the characterization and development we're getting. It's been a very fantastic arc, and it just still just puzzles me greatly when I see people bitching and complaining about this arc. It really bugs me, because it's this same exact stuff, people bitching about this arc, is what caused the world-building arc of Manga to be rushed in the first place. Like, seriously, this is probably one of the most important arcs of the 7 Deadly Sins. This is legit the most important. It's given so many details, the background to everything that has happened throughout the series, but obviously you have these people here, some of them, they're like, oh, fuck this arc is boring as hell, get to the present day, I want to see Meliodas and all them again, I want to see Bond and all that. I'm like, no. This is important. We need them details. We need all this characterization and development we are getting. Without it, we can't have a good story. So it really bugs me. Like, that really just bugs me how people have been complaining about this when it's just such a good arc. And especially this situation, too, with Ro. So, yeah. We now know why Jiharde is like she is, why she, you know, can't use an eye. We now know about her wings and all that. It just, everything makes sense now with her character and why she still holds aggression towards humans in the first place, even if she knows it's heinous or it's a bad thing to do. Because even though Rose saved her, doesn't stop the fact that Jiharde might hold anger towards the human race, which is why she's still angry with Bon. So it explains a lot, and I really respect Nakaba Sensei for that, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen next in the next chapter of the 7 Deadly Sins. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I love you all so much. Please be safe. Chibi out.